What's up, guys? Back at another property right down the street from the last one that we got 1% financing on. This one's not that sexy on the financing side, but this is what a new development and construction new development looks like. And so we're building the exact same townhouse. There's a bunch of construction trucks in the background, so you might hear some noise. I don't have my hard hat on, but I also didn't wear sandals, so I was like, I better wear some actual shoes. But I'm gonna show you guys just a little bit like this, all the different phases of construction. So we bought into this. It was a townhome development. About half of it was built out. Probably 3/4 of it was built out. We bought the other land with the same investors that are partnered down the street. So we raised another $2 million to buy this land. And then there were some holding costs, right? Because this construction loan, when we bought this, was at the end of 2020. All the banks were still in like that PPP mode that they got. And not a lot of them were interested in new construction because lumber prices were going through the roof and all this other stuff. So it was a real pain in the ass in order to get the construction loan on this. It took us almost, I don't know, 10 or 11 months after we closed to close the actual construction loan. So these are the last two buildings that we're building here. This is 82 units that we're developing, all separately parceled. We could sell them off to individuals, but our plan is to hold it and rent it and manage it as a multifamily property. So you got all the undergrounds in. You can see that they're framed up with, for the slab pouring that's gonna be coming up. And they'll pour the slabs. It's all the plumbing stuff coming out of there. You see the electric up front on the sides. Same thing's going on over there. They're gonna connect this road, right?
Yes.
What, right through here or right
Either it's gonna be
over this?
Either it's gonna be a roundabout or either it's gonna come through here, is what I was told.
Yeah, they gotta, that's probably gonna be a roundabout. I don't know. It's kind of, it'd just be a little bit tight to come through right here, but maybe. So you got, that's phase one. In the distance, I'm not gonna walk all the way over there, but in the distance you see some framing going on. After the framing, then you wanna get it all sealed up, right? That's when you put the wrap on the property, keep it weather protected, get the roof on, and now you can start working on the inside and put the siding on and start working on the interior. So windows are in, doors are in, and this building is next. They're starting to do some of the exterior facade, and they've got all the rough-in completed. The rough-in is like the electric, the plumbing, the HVAC, and making sure that's all in the walls. And then that gets inspected, and then you throw the drywall up, and then you can start painting and start putting fixtures in and all those things, which is where this one is. The last thing it needs is flooring and appliances, and then that one will be ready to go. And I'm gonna actually walk you guys through one of the units over here that is gonna be ready in the next couple of days. This building, all it needs is appliances, and those will all be coming online. And then this building all has their certificates of occupancy already. So we're good to go on this property. And we already have one of the units rented at $1,450. We were expecting, it was like, I think we were trying to get $1,195 or $1,175. That's how we underwrote it 24 months ago when we bought it. And we got 2 units rented already for $1,450 out of this building, more applications coming in. So here's what it looks like. So it's got a vaulted ceiling, and these are 2-bed, 2-bath homes. We got the gray LVT tile on the floor. You see some of the gray tones on the walls that match everything, look very modern. You got the little peek-through kitchen. We'll walk through the kitchen in a moment here. Instead of doing 6-panel doors, we did some updated, a little bit more modern looking doors. And here's one of the bedrooms with a standard little closet. This other door goes into the bathroom, which I'll show you here. And so here's one of the bathrooms. Granite stone countertops. Didn't tile this, but that's because it's easier to maintain, and you have to re-grout it. You don't have to worry about the grout getting all dirty. Like, this is just easy to clean. You caulk the base of it, and if it gets screwed up, we can rip the whole thing out, throw a new insert in, but it's still nice and clean and functional. which is the look we're going for. Elongated toilets. All utilities here are separately metered as well. So typically when we buy apartment buildings, depending on where you're buying, you're gonna expect like somewhere between a 40 to 50% expense ratio, which means that of all your gross potential income that you can make, about 40% of it goes to paying for operating expenses. Now it depends on, are you as the landlord paying for utilities? Like up in Cleveland, the landlords typically pay for the heat. And it's a lot colder up in Cleveland than it is down in here in Georgia. And so it depends on where you're at, do you have snow removal, other kind of maintenance type stuff. Here we have an HOA, which adds a little bit of cost, but that HOA then cuts the grass and does those kinds of things, which remove some expenses from us as well. And here, all the utilities are separately metered because each one of these is separately parceled. So all the utilities are in the tenant's name, which means not even water or sewer is in the landlord's name, which means our expense ratio on these is probably going to be in the 25 to 30% range, as opposed to 40 to 50%. So that's pretty exciting. The other thing that we can do, because they're separately parceled, is we can sell to an owner-occupant, or we can sell to an investor who wants to own these as multifamily. So it gives us multiple exit strategies. The more exit strategies you have, chances are the more money you're going to be able to make, because quantity leads to quality. And so we might, the market might turn around, rate might drop again, and owner occupants might want to move into here and pay $225 per unit in order to buy a townhouse here, versus an investor says, hey, the cash flow makes sense at $175,000 per door for these townhomes. So it just kind of depends on the market, but we got the best of both single family and multifamily by having these townhouses here. So let's walk through. Here's the master. Pretty big master, actually. Decent size. Got some ceiling fans. And then this is the master bathroom. So you've got decent sized countertop, shaker cabinets, all brand new, brushed nickel. Got a walk-in closet here as well. And then you have some storage up top above the two bedrooms where obviously that's vaulted, so you don't have storage up there, but above these two bedrooms it runs the length, so you can store your Christmas gifts and anything else that you want that you only access seasonally. And then here's the kitchen. So give you a full pick of the kitchen, got a little pantry, try to get some as much cabinets as you possibly can in here. Full size, full depth Whirlpool appliances, they all match. All stainless steel, all granite countertops, drop-in sink, and little nook right here. Have some food, a little breakfast nook, and then at this property we're including the washer and dryer. And because we're including the washer and dryer, this set might cost us $1,000. I don't even think it's that much, but let's say it costs us $1,000, but we can get an extra $100 a month in rent that pays for itself in 10 months. And chances are this will last many, many years as opposed to only 10 months. And then out of the back here, little concrete pad. So this will all get grassed in over here and people can utilize this, but look how nice. Hey, got a little privacy over here, and these are like wetlands, so they cannot be developed. And it's a nice quiet little area, but this is closer to town than the other apartments or the other townhouses that I'm building down the street. So you can actually like walk or ride your bike into a lot of the retail shops and restaurants, and it's a little bit closer to town. It's got a few more amenities than the other place does, which justifies why we're getting $1,450 a month in rent as opposed to $1,325 over there. And yeah, pretty cool, pretty exciting. But that gives you an idea of what the construction process looks like on some of these new construction kinds of deals. We're looking to buy more stuff down here in this town and in this area. More so, not necessarily because, we do like the area, but I bought stuff in like 12 different states, and it's a pain in the ass to manage in all those different states. Like when you have more properties in single areas, there's Jed. Oh, it's just easier to manage when you have additional resources, right? If the property manager quits here, I can pull somebody from my properties in Charleston and have them come down here and kind of bridge the gap until we hire somebody new, as opposed to having them move to Texas or Oklahoma or Illinois or Louisiana or all these other different areas where we have properties. I have these solo, they're big properties, but they're kind of isolated on an island. So I'm trying to consolidate. I'm in a place in my portfolio right now where I'm consolidating and making things easier, making things more efficient, and trimming the fat everywhere that I possibly can in the business. And part of that is consolidating into just a handful of markets. So it's nothing against other markets, just I live in Charleston, and so I want more properties in this area of the coastal Carolinas and stuff. And half my team's up in Cleveland, so we'll keep on buying in Cleveland, Ohio, just because half my ops team is up there. And as far as the other markets go, maybe we'll be very picky and very selective on the properties that we buy in some of those other areas, though. So that's a little new construction on townhouses. And by the way, if you want to learn how to do this stuff, I have a program called Commercial Empire. Jump on commercialempire.com. It's $297 for the virtual 3-day event, and you can plug in, learn how we find deals, underwrite deals, raise private money, secure financing, operate them, project management, property management, asset management, and then what all the different exit strategies look like too. We hit on a lot of creative finance stuff as well. So plug into that, commercialempire.com.
What else you got? What else you want to talk about?
Man, no, I would be aware of new construction stuff. Like when you're buying new construction, you want to make sure, you want to see what else is coming online. Like right now, there's a bunch of apartments coming online, but it's not townhouses, right? And there's no houses being built in this area. So we're in a very unique position where a lot of the people who want homes, who can't find homes, are going to be moving here as opposed to into an apartment. Like this is, you can still have a family and feel homey in this type of a setting versus living in an apartment. And on one of the main roads, it's kind of tucked away. You got the green space, you got some different amenities and that kind of jazz. So we're in a pretty unique space, but I think what you're going to find is this quarter is actually the first time in the past 3 years that rents have not risen. And the reason is because all these new construction developments are actually coming online. And this is, I'm giving you macro kind of economics on this across the entire country, not in this specific market. There's definitely specific markets where rents are still rising. But on a macro level across the nation, they're finding that most rents, on the average, rents are not rising. And at least on this quarter, and the reason being is because of all this new construction product that's now coming online right now. So there was a severe supply issue with that, and now it's being oversupplied. So I think you're going to see a lot of rents drop, or obviously that's typical economics. As supply reduces, prices reduce, demand reduces, and so it'll get a little bit tricky in certain markets, right? But for where we are and where we're investing right now, there's still a ton of demand, ton of people moving into the area. And when you have that population, that means that brings more demand, that brings less supply, which pushes prices up. That's how economics work. So we like building in this area, and but I will say building properties, it takes, it's been 2.5, it'll be 3 years by the time this entire thing is done. And sometimes I think, well, shit, how much opportunity did I miss by not pursuing just turnkey, stabilized stuff and being able to buy 6 other deals by the time this one deal is finished and completed. So, I think it's really nice to have a brand new product and control it and, be all in. Hank, what's our all in cost on this?
All in cost?
8 million?
No.
6?
You want to know the all in cost? Like total cost is going to be around 7.
7 million. We bought the land for 2, so we're in for $9 million, and it's worth $15 million all day, right? Like we've already had offers on it at 15 million. So for where I am personally in my investing career right now, I want less headaches and more time, and that's what I'm going to focus more on. I have the resources, I have access to capital, I have those things that I didn't have before, so I needed to get into the hairy deals, I needed to get into Class C properties, I needed to create the value add component. That was important early on, but now for where I am in my career, I think you kind of graduate to these different phases, and that for me is just buying more stabilized stuff and then sitting on it long term. So hopefully that gives you guys some perspective. Again, love to hear some of your comments. Put it in the comment section, any questions that you might have. Hit me up. Happy to create some more content and answer a lot of those questions directly. So appreciate you.